What are the strongest gods of destruction? Is Bills the strongest, or is he among the weakest? The anime gives us clues, but the manga, also written by Akira Toriyama, goes into more detail. By gathering the main lines of Whis, Bills, the gods themselves, in addition to the actions of Daishinkan and the impeccable fight of the 12 gods of destruction in the manga, the list emerged. From the most irrelevant and without deeds, to the frightening elite gods. 12th place, Yuan, the weakest god of destruction of all. Despite his unimposing appearance, this god's true strength becomes evident as you learn more about him, proving that looks can be very deceiving. In all his anime or manga appearances, he had no significant achievements. In nearly every scene, he displays signs of fear, contrasting with the confidence of other gods. In the fight of the 12 gods of destruction promoted by Daishinkan in the manga, Yuan doesn't even have a successful battle interaction. He fails to land any hits, seems desperate at times, and his martial arts skills are visibly inferior to other gods. His true look under the fur piques the interest of all Dragon Ball fans. Looking up the character, I found on the official Dragon Ball website that his appearance is described as similar to Shiva in Hinduism. Shiva is a Hindu god with a distinctive appearance. Despite not being a very strong god, he is simply one of the best gods of destruction. In fact, his universe, Universe 1, was exempt from the power tournament due to its mortal level exceeding 7. Universe 7, our universe, has 328, which is less than half. He is very efficient and successful, as his work made his universe have the highest mortal level of all. The official description of the character says that Yuan has strong passion, enthusiasm, and explosive feelings in his calm appearance. Despite not ensuring power with the other gods, he was the sole god of destruction unaffected by the Zenos erasing the 9th universe, simply because it wasn't necessary for him. An incredible curiosity about him is that Yuan, his angel, is his martial arts master. Investigating this god and angel, the information about Awamu, the angel of Universe 1, suggests he is a significant factor behind this universe's immense mortal level. After all, he is an angel with the rare ability, even among angels, to feel everything that happens in the universe. In the manga, Yuan participated in a multi-universe hide-and-seek tournament organized by Zeno. But when Bill hid and dozed off for 50 years during the tournament, it was cancelled. He and the gods needed to settle down. Zeno was furious. Since then, Yuan and the other gods have felt disdain for Bills, which continues to this day. Summoned by the Grand Priest, he is invited to participate in Zeno's exhibition tournament for the gods of destruction at Zeno's palace. Later, he seems relieved when the Grand Priest, Daishinkan, announces that his universe will not need to participate in the life or death tournament. After that, he returned to the universe to continue his duties as god. In the anime before the power tournament begins, Daishinkan asks them to test the arena because Zeno was bored. This scene here doesn't count as much. What counts more is the manga. This here was probably Toei's idea. Their battle made a crater in the center of the arena, and a tower fell. He was ordered by the Grand Priest, along with Araki and Laqueer, to repair the stage. Before the fighters from the 8 universes appear, he was quite impressed and surprised by Goku's power, and how Goku achieves the Ultra Instinct for the 3rd time. He previously assumed that Goku's transformation was a temporary matter, although Nato speculates that Goku really achieved the form this time. Nato is the Kaioshin of Universe 1, with Yuan calling Goku's 3rd transformation amazing. Later, he rises with his fellow gods to acknowledge Goku, achieving the full form of superior instinct. In the exhibition tournament of the gods, Yuan is defeated by Kutella, who is stronger than him and one of the most interesting gods on the list. He's the rat god. We also have a cat god, but more on that later. At number 11 is Gin, proving that appearances can be deceiving. Gin is a god who does seem to be one of the most powerful, but he appeared exclusively to show fear, get beaten up, and be scared. His participation is very similar to Yuan's. In his fights, basically, he doesn't fix anything, but at least he gives a little attack here and there. Yuan can't even do that. Not that he hit those attacks, okay? He was trained by Martino, who is the angel of Universe 12. It appears to be a coincidence that the gods exempt from the power tournament are also the weakest ones. They are gods trained by angels that seem to lack combat experience, suggesting the angels don't battle often. In contrast to this, Gin is the only conditioned god of destruction, that is, he is the only one who is in shape. To maintain the tradition being created, he, a god with fewer feats, is very competent. His universe gave rise to time travel by mortal hands, showing a high level of planetary development. His official description states that he works mercilessly and without discrimination. However, his excellent performance leads to boredom, because there's nothing to destroy. Therefore, he longs for the power tournament. His universe would probably be a lot of work if it participated. Jin seems very confident and proud of himself. because he smiles broadly when his universe is spared by the two in Bone. In response to the conversation of the gods of the four spared universes, he prides himself on being a great Hakaishin. In the manga, he lacks the confidence portrayed in the anime, feeling anxious about potential erasure during the Zeno exhibition tournament and sighing in relief upon learning his universe was exempt from the power tournament and elimination. He is also smart enough to realize the intention of the Grand Priest Daishinken when he suggested testing the arena for the power tournament alongside Yuan, Liqui, and Araki, knowing beforehand that they would be ordered to rebuild it after they finished. So Kim refused. He was visibly nervous about the erasure of Universe 9 and Universe 10. In the manga, he appreciates Sidra shielding him from Bios' blast, and is openly angry at Bellman for backstabbing Sidra right after he saved them. He, along with Nat, were the only deities from all the exempt universes who smiled upon hearing Android 17's wish to restore the universes that were erased, suggesting that he values life in general. He participated in the hide-and-seek game among the gods, and is one of those against Bios. In his universe, he is incredibly powerful, just like Yuan in his own universe, but this doesn't make him one of the most powerful gods overall. Jin believed that Bill's energy sphere would have defeated him, or possibly even killed him during the gods' fight. However, Sidra's barrier saved him. He was defeated, and not one of the last gods standing. 10th place goes to Araki. Another god from an exempt universe exactly. Gohan may be right, working is better than fighting. His role in the Battle of the Gods is absurd. Several gods stood out, but Araki, Gin, and Yuan definitely were not among them. He basically just got beaten up and beaten up. He also did nothing in the fight. The only action he took was to release a beam and make an attack, something neither Yuan nor Gin showed. Other gods have done incredible feats in this combat you will see in this video. But aside from that depressing part, yes, he is also a very competent god. He thoroughly investigates what needs to be destroyed, and said this based on the official character description. He attempts to expand his universe's potential with minimal destruction, unlike other gods like Bills, who destroys planets for trivial reasons. In contrast to some other gods, Araki proves himself to be a disciplined man through regular meditation and continued training as a god of destruction. He also seems to value life in general, as he was visibly disturbed by the erasure of universes 9 and 10. Like the other gods, he watched the exhibition fight between Goku and Toppo. Kung Kan announces his universe will not participate in the tournament as it has a high mortal level. After the tournament, he promptly resumed his duties as the god of destruction. In the anime, during his fight against Yuan and Liqui in a sparring match, he quickly questions the arena's durability. The arena broke. Later, Araki, a god, stands to acknowledge Goku's newly discovered Ultra Instinct power. And he is literally the last god of destruction who has no significant feat in the fight of the 12 gods. Now things start to get complicated because elsewhere we have Helis. She is basically the goddess of destruction of the boring universe of Hibriane, and she considers herself the most beautiful being in all the universes. Does anyone tell her that on Earth there are a million like her? She is basically the only goddess who has a human appearance. And she is described in the anime as having extraordinary beauty. In the Arabic version, in fact, she is basically all censored. Even the arm is censored and they put a sleeve on it. The belly is also covered. Various things. She is described as a person who dislikes anything that is ugly. She also cares about life and existence, which means that, like Bellman, she does not tolerate any form of evil, being shocked by the decision of her superiors to annihilate 8 universes, even calling the Tournament of Power horrendous. Visibly, despite her duties as a god of destruction, Helis seems to be quite benevolent, showing genuine compassion for her warriors, and showed extreme disgust for Frieza's savage combat methods. She also demonstrates having great confidence in the warriors of her universe, as she frequently boasts about their fighting prowess and combat spirit. Helis, unlike most destruction gods, does not reprimand her subordinates' failures and shows no emotional response when a team member loses. She has her own self-indulgence, as she has several servants taking care of her. Seeing herself as the most beautiful being in all universes, she likes her servants to regularly affirm this belief. Despite the fact that she tends to destroy things she considers ugly, her universe still has the second highest mortal level of the 8 participants in the Tournament of Power, and the 6th in the overall ranking, showing that her management of Universe 2 is at least quite good. Visibly, she is the only god of destruction who admires Goku, possibly due to his good looks, as she values appearance above all else. Moreover, she is the sole goddess who harbors no resentment towards Universe 7 for causing the tournament. Furthermore, she later openly expresses that she considered Goku a threat to Universe 2, and did not hesitate to order her remaining fighters to unite against the injured Saiyan. Very beautiful, but he's going to die. Or will he not? Helis can adapt when needed. For example, when her team was reduced to just 3 members, she told the remaining members to prioritize survival over appearances. After her team lost in the power tournament, Helis gracefully and beautifully, in quotes, accepted her fate as she and the rest of Universe 2 were erased. After the winner of the power tournament, Android 17, wished for all the erased universes to return to existence, Helis was with the Universe 2 team and shed tears of joy when they all received a hero's welcome back to their homeworld. She is so extravagant about love and appearances towards her subordinates that she makes them strike poses. She is an unlikable character. Unlike the previous gods, she is the first one to have some relevant achievement, although not so relevant. That's why she is only in 9th place. She hit Liquor with an arrow when he was off guard. And she probably isn't higher on the list because she prioritizes beauty over strength. In 8th place, Sidra. This is simply the worst god of destruction. Sidra, a god prone to overthinking, was indecisive and rarely destroyed anything, making them a very passive deity. He proves to be calmer and kinder than his counterpart, the Supreme Kaioshin Ro, since he finds Basil's aggression towards Boo extremely harsh and uncommon among the gods. Despite his pacifist nature, Sidra, like most other destroyers, has grown to dislike Goku, both for the consequences of the power tournament and for the latter's casual attitude towards Zeno, which is considered disrespectful from Sidra's point of view. He also does not hesitate to judge mortals when he destroys them out of disgust for their behavior. Sidra did not object when Frieza contacted him and Roar about joining the Universe 9 team, despite knowing what Frieza did to his men. When his team started to be eliminated, Sidra never reprimanded them like Aramush and Catella did with their own teams, only briefly warning Rousseau for having fallen from the arena on purpose, and he silently absented himself while the 2 Omni Kings erased everyone from Universe 9, leaving only Rito. In the manga, Sidra calls the planet a total failure and suggests destroying it before double-checking his calculations. He learns of a call from the Grand Minister, the Daishinkan, but at first did not grasp its significance. At the Zeno Palace, he is invited to an exhibition match with the other gods of destruction. Bios presses the other gods, uniting against him. Bios nearly defeated Sidra, Belmond, and Gin, but Sidra shielded them at the last moment. When Sidra started bragging about how he is the fastest at creating shields, he was kicked out of the stands by Belmond, who claims that since the match is a free-for-all, there will be no teamwork among them. In the anime, Sidra, Marito, Ro, and the Danger Trio meet the Universe 7 group at Zeno's palace. Before the fights begin, Sidra gets nervous about not being able to impress Zeno with his fighters, which could potentially cause them to be destroyed right there. Sidra usually remains silent during Zeno's exhibition tournament, but is impressed by Bergamo for asking Zeno to spare the universes if he defeats Goku. While recruiting members for the Universe 9 team, Sidra destroys a chaotic city after discovering their universe might be erased in the Tournament of Power, and also out of disgust for the savagery of mortals. After Catello convinced with a lie that Universe 7 was planning to kill him, he and Iroh hired assassins to kill Goku and Frieza. So, Universe 7 would be forced to give up, even giving one of the assassins some of their energy. They discover that their plan did not work and that Frieza is planning to join them. Both deities of Universe 9 discuss the possibility of adding someone who does not care about the erasure of their own universe. Later, Sidra and the others arrive at the empty world and watch their subordinates fight. He usually stays quiet, speaking briefly before disappearing. He and his team, excluding Morito the Angel, were the first to be erased. Later, like everyone else, he was revived by 17. In the manga, his most impressive feat was erecting a barrier to defend against Bills' assault. Bellman, the god of Universe 11, easily knocked him down, catching him off guard. During the fight, he battled against Champa and was at a disadvantage. In 7th place, Liquid. To end the list of the gods of the exempt universes, he is already a god who has a little more power, probably because he is a little more hot-headed and more interested in the fights. He is the sole god with a transformation and takes great pride in being a powerful god of destruction. This can be proven in one of his striking lines, open quotes. I'm always happy to show the Zenyas how right they were to exempt us from the tournament, since our group is far superior to those universes forced to fight for their survival. Liquir's life goal is to eliminate all flaws in the plans of his Supreme Kaioshin, and strictly destroys anyone who reduces the mortal level of his universe. For those who didn't understand, basically it's the Kaioshins who create the planets. If the gods don't like it, they simply go there and say H-A-K-A-E. Despite his rough appearance, Liquir is quite jovial. He boasts about his universe's superiority over Yuan's, expressing pride in his strength and power, and suggests a friendly arena match. Liquir also respects love, as he was in favor of the strength of Hibariwani's love. In addition, although he is confident in the superiority of his universe, he was visibly stunned, like many other gods, when Universe 9 was erased, showing that he has a certain degree of respect for life. He also participates in the exhibition fight of the 12 gods together. Of course, I'm going to talk about his participation in this manga scene soon. During the tournament, he witnessed Zeno erasing Universes 9 and 10, leaving him shocked. While Liquier was watching the battle between Goku and Hibrian, he mentioned that, although he expected Universe 6 or 7 to win, he was rooting for Universe 2. Later, when Goku awakened the complete Ultra Instinct form, Liquier was among the gods who stood up to acknowledge him. His participation was quite interesting in the Battle of the Gods. He showed that he even has a certain firepower. He also achieves a 9-tailed transformation. In his original form, he only has 3 tails. He also blinded some gods with his attack's reflection. However, he couldn't damage Belmont. Relish shoots him with an arrow. Later, Mule squeezes him, and he can't break free from Mule's grip. In 6th place, we have Moscow. Basically, he was the first god to be knocked out, but before that, he simply made an incredible mess in the arena. This character is curious. He is a creature similar to the Imp, the pilot of the Moscow robot. Muli, the pilot, serves as the god of destruction in Universe 3. According to the official description, this character is a god with intelligence beyond humans and communicates using beep sounds through his robot, Moscow. As Moscow, he usually appears very quiet within his suit, not having any verbal dialogue with any of the other characters he interacts with. However, when he communicates from his suit, he emits an 8-bit tone beep with the robotic eye of his robot blinking brightly. He often relies on his assistant Angel Campari to translate his words, as evident in his short exchanges with his Supreme Kaioshin. He doesn't seem to hold a grudge against Universe 7 either, unlike most gods, even asking Bills why he wasn't invited to the Destruction God Summit before the Power Tournament. Just like the Supreme Kaioshin from his twin universe asked why Kai didn't invite Shin. This doesn't apply in the manga, where he doesn't like Bills like all the other gods due to an incident from many years ago back at Pighide. At the time of the Power Tournament announcement, Moscow shows great indignation, where the robot complains that they don't have enough time to gather enough fighters. Like most of the other gods of destruction, Molly has a low tolerance for failure, as he is visibly upset with Catopezra, who is that Power Ranger. He stumbled out of the arena incredibly. Despite his discontent, he did not threaten any members, unlike Iramuchi and Catella. Not much is known about his true personality. However, he was apparently the only god of destruction willing to openly express disdain for Zenyo's deadline in the tournament, Brave. He also remained calm when Narirama attacked him. Before being erased, he revealed his true form and warmly thanked his angel assistant for the ongoing support, showing that he had a lot of respect for Campari, who is the name of the Angel of Universe 3. The gods and angels in the story are named after drinks, with this one being the most obvious example. I'm already clued in on which symbolizes which drink. If you guys want, I can talk about this in another video if there's support here in the comments. In the manga, when Mule complains about the short deadline, the angel even lies to defend him, something completely different from what angels usually do. During the mandatory exhibition match, Musco caught Bills off guard and grabbed him. However, Bills forced his way out and dodged the other gods of destruction, who ended up hitting him squarely due to his feint. When Champa called a meeting with the other gods of destruction, Campari translated for Moscow and asked why Champa had not invited Bills from Universe 7. Moscow is seen later giving his approval to Nigrise after witnessing the power of Narirama. He feels confident that his universe will be the winner. In the Power Tournament, Moscow watches as Narirama's Super Survival Mode knocks down several fighters until it is interrupted by the combined efforts of Hit and Basil. When the Universe 3 team failed, Moscow was erased along with the rest. In a touching scene, he thanks the angel Campari for his support before being erased with the rest of his team. He was also revived by Android 17. His participation in the fight is quite intriguing. During the exhibition fight between the 12 gods, he sneaked up behind Bills and captured him. Bills even escaped, but with a notable effort. After taking the blow from 2 gods of destruction due to Bills' trap, he managed to get up and resume the fight. He fought, subdued, and had an advantage against Helis and Liquier at the same time, squeezing Liquier with one hand while attacking Helis with the laser eye. A big question from fans is about his power outside of Moscow, that is, how strong Mully is outside of his robot. It is known that he has enough reflex to pilot Moscow in battle against other gods of destruction, so he must not be a small thing. His brilliant intellect distinguishes him from other gods. He was simply able to build the Moscow robot that can fight with the gods of destruction. In 5th place, we have Champa. He is the god of destruction of Universe 6, twin brother and rival of Bios, and the main antagonist of the Universe 6 saga. Just like his brother, Champa is very confident in his abilities and is quite indifferent to the death of others. At the same time, Champa proves to be even lazier than Bios, often asking Avados to take care of matters that he, as a Hakai Shin, should do. He also proved to be deceitful and cares little about rules or order, which is noticeable when he invaded Universe 7 to collect his part of the Dragon Ball set. He also modified the Destroyers tournament to support his fighters. Champa tends to behave less dignified compared to Bills, as he tends to avoid answering questions that incriminate or embarrass him. Unlike Bills, Champa was not seen behaving in a very polite or sophisticated manner, further exemplifying his lack of emotional maturity. Champa takes his rivalry with Bills more seriously, and despite the threat of erasure if he loses the Power Tower, his main goal was to humiliate Bills. Every Goku has his Vegeta. He is also very selfish. Upon learning that the Earth of Universe 7 provides Bills with wonderful food, Champa immediately wanted to obtain the planet for himself. Like most Hakai Shins and Kaioshins, Champa also has a low tolerance for failure. He is a sore loser, throwing childish tantrums and making baseless accusations to get what he wants. He also shows a strong liking for sweets, especially in his drinks, which seems to be the main reason for him being out of shape. Champa is also a bit less intelligent compared to his brother, as he fails to realize that Goku and Vegeta were moving slowly due to the heavy training suits they were wearing, causing him to underestimate their strength. Just like the other destroyers, Champa shows to be very respectful towards Zeno. Despite his pettiness, Champa seems capable of genuine respect and admiration in certain cases. After Hit's elimination by Jiren, instead of getting angry as he normally would, Champa proudly acknowledged Hit and stated that his defeat would not be in vain. In my view, Hit performed well in the fight. Share your thoughts in the comments. Champa only became enraged at Frieza's brutality after he defeated Kaabe, and showed how much he hated him. Although he was willing to hire Frost, Champa shows dislike for the latter's evil nature, and didn't feel obligated to help if he failed, though he and Bios argue often as he was about to be erased. Champa said goodbye to his brother, albeit in a somewhat teasing way. It is implied that Champa at least had some attachment to his brother. When revived with the Super Dragon Balls, he trusted his brother Bills and assumed his universe was responsible for the wish, despite not knowing for certain. Similarly, Champa's ego and emotional outburst overshadowed his ability to calmly assess situations and form strategies to deal with them. For instance, after he realized that his universe couldn't win by knocking everyone out, he ordered his team to avoid unnecessary conflicts and just engage Universe 7 to reduce their numbers so that Universe 6 could win by having the most number of remaining warriors at the end of the tournament. He is always shown and portrayed as a very powerful god of destruction, but in the anime, it was also revealed that his overweight makes him have little endurance, being unable to move for long periods of time until he gets exhausted. Although Varys claims he is the most powerful among the brothers, Champa has shown several times to give Bills a significant challenge, as seen when they argued over baseball rules and fought hand to hand. This suggests that Bills has greater endurance than Champa, as demonstrated after a lengthy game of rock, paper, scissors. While Champa's hand was very sore, Bills' remained unfazed. In the manga's exhibition tournament fight, Champa reveals he hasn't trained for decades, yet still shows an advantage against Sidra. Near the end of the match, he was one of the defeated gods of destruction, as only 2 remained standing. He demonstrated great feats. In 4th place, Ramush, the insane god of destruction. And in this top 4, we finally reached the elite gods. Those with more feats and more power among all, the elephant god is a relatively lazy god who likes to be praised. He doesn't like to destroy planets because he finds it very painful. Like most other gods, Ramush immediately disliked Goku because of the consequences of the power tournament, as well as his casual attitude towards Zeno, which Ramush considers disrespectful. Apparently, he doesn't realize that the same disrespectful Saiyan also indirectly helped save him from death at the hands of Zamasu when he was about to assassinate Goas, since the Life Pact makes a connection between the God of Destruction and the Kaioshin, and the other universes don't have multiple Kaioshins like Universe 7, I don't know why, probably due to production laziness. He believes that strength was the key to winning the power tournament, as he told Goas to think with the body instead of the brain, and also recruited members who rely too much on brute force. Despite his ego and approval of Miratine's overly enthusiastic nature, Ramushi also proves capable of being mature and serious, as he recognized Goas' overthinking as his main flaw. Although he is not as mature as Goas, he shows some similarities in that he sees muscles and flesh as a way to win a fight. In the manga, his relationship with Goa-Az is strained due to recent events. He's frustrated when he learns that Goa Oz has endangered the universe, threatening his counterpart's life. Of course, he saw that Bios was the one who resolved it, therefore he did not hesitate to threaten the life of his Kaioshin, even though their lives are linked. Like most gods, he also has a very low tolerance for failure. He became very angry when Rilbel was expelled from the arena. After all, he didn't even consider using his wings. He was also seen comically hitting Ji-Yun and Jirisen upside down when both were knocked out. Ramusha ultimately accepted his fate and closed his eyes after all members of Universe 10 were erased from existence. His displays of power are astounding, and this is where the tension begins to build. During the Gods exhibition fight in the manga, he was able to knock out everyone in the environment who had a level below a Kaioshin just with a shout. He also acted all the Gods of Destruction at the same time, and caused strong damage to 4 of them also at the same time. Besides, he was also one of the last 4 to be knocked out, crediting him as the 4th most powerful. In 3rd place, we have Benevolent, probably the God of Destruction with the most fascinating participation in the Gods fight. Benevolent, a peaceful God of Destruction, does not forgive or accept evil, marking a touch of irony. He is very pleased with the brave efforts of the Pride Troop, and with their work, justice makes his heart beat. Unlike most Gods of Destruction and their Kaioshins, Benevolent has a civil and cordial relationship with Kai, the Kaioshin of Universe 11. Instead of being rude or acting superior to his counterpart, Benevolent listens to him and is willing to discuss decisions. However, he indulges in being pampered by various women while appearing as a court jester. He found them on a planet he planned to destroy. When one of them threatened Margarita, she threatened an angel with a knife, so she was destroyed by Benevolent as she crossed the limit he tolerates. Unlike Bills and Champa, who revel in their position as God, Benevolent is more humble about it, as he personally selected a potential successor for his universe, Toppo, even allowing him to observe some exclusive deity events. His humility partly extends to his strength. While Bills is irritated by any suggestion that he could be surpassed by anyone other than Whis, Belmondo seems comfortable with the fact that Jiren is stronger than him. I'll soon comment on Goku and Vegeta's power compared to these gods. Stay until the end of the video because it will significantly impair your understanding if you don't. And also, if you've watched up to this point, it's because you're interested, so it will definitely help a lot. He gets furious when Android 17 questioned Jiren's desire and behavior, shouting that such judgment of Jiren should only come from those who know him. Also, more unusual for a God of Destruction, Benevolent is more inclined to listen to his assistant angel, Makarita. This is probably part of the reason why the mortal level of Universe 11 is the highest among the participants of the Power Tournament. Because of this, both Benevolent and Kai, or Kaioshin, are much more confident in their team, the Pride Troopers, and less worried about erasure than the gods of the other universes. When reduced to 3 fighters, Benevolent calmly stated that their warriors' quality surpassed the quantity from other universes. Even when Dispo was eliminated, leaving Universe 11 with 2 members, Benevolent hardly reacted. His calm demeanor broke when Toppo was eliminated, expressing shock and frustration, especially when Jiren faced difficulties or seemed to suffer damage. After his universe lost, although he was shocked by the impending death, he soon calmed down and accepted his fate. The manga reveals that Benevolent, a former Pride Trooper, was friends with Jiren's mentor, Githin. That's why Jiren had Benevolent's approval to resurrect his master as a wish. In the anime, Whis stated that Benevolent was stronger than Bills, although Bills claimed Benevolent only beat him at arm wrestling. This scene here, basically, I don't consider anything because they changed the character in the manga. In the manga by Akira Toriyama, another character arm wrestles with Bills. The manga is a purer source material with minimal intervention from Toei. So this part here counts a lot because besides, Bills disagrees. In the manga's exhibition tournament, Goku and Gin thought Benevolent and the other gods would have been defeated or killed if hit by the Sphere of Destruction. Of course, the one who threw the sphere was Bills, so begins Benevolent's show. He proved to be able to easily kick Sidra down, although catching him off guard. In addition, he was able to damage all the gods of destruction, capturing them in balls and imprisoning and attacking with energy cards. When he is attacked by Lickware's tail energy, he suffers no damage. When the match ends, it's revealed that Benevolent faked being knocked down and was unharmed during the fight. In the anime, they try to hype up Jiren's power more. In the manga, Toppo just says that in terms of combat skills, Jiren surpasses Benevolent, but that's fine. Master Roshi likely has better combat skills than Broly, but that doesn't necessarily make him stronger overall. While there are other lines suggesting Jiren's superiority, the anticipated cat and mouse fight has finally arrived. In second place is Kitela. Like Bios, Kitela is a bit lazy. While Bios fulfills his duties recklessly and randomly, Catella prefers playing video games and eating fast food. He is a vain, manipulative god, willing to use questionable means. That, of course, if he can make it to the top of the competition, in addition to having statues with his image all over the room. His rivalry with Bills surpasses that of Champa. He appears to deeply despise the god of destruction of Universe 7, frequently plotting against him and devising plans to obstruct or eradicate him before the Power Tournament. He's intelligent and sneaky, persuading Sidra to use assassins to kill Frieza, readying them to take the fall. He also appears to have a good relationship with his universe's supreme Kaioshin, Kuru. Unlike most other deities who were stunned by the erasure of Universe 9 by the Enos, Catella was not bothered and had a lot of fun, showing that he has no compassion for others. When Catella was about to be erased, he acted hysterically and refused this fact, swearing to take others with him before disappearing. Although after all the erased universes were restored by 17's wish, Catella seems to be calmly looking in the same direction as his subordinates, showing that his previous threat was precisely in that moment of fear. Notably in the manga, Catella was strong enough to defeat Bills in an arm wrestling match. Exactly, in the manga they changed Benevolent for Catella, which makes much more sense. They probably mixed up Akira Toriyama's ideas when they made the anime, but Bill's biggest rival is Catella. Akira Toriyama wanted to create a cat and mouse game. Bills claimed he wouldn't lose to him in hand-to-hand combat. During the Zeno exhibition match, the Fight of the 12 Gods, Catella defeats Yuan in combat against him. He, Bills, and Benevolent proved to be the last three active gods of destruction. However, before Catella and Bios' final punches connect, the Grand Priest interrupts the fight. And he does this with great ease, the two strongest gods in a combined attack being stopped with just one finger. The Daishinkan is sinister, and in first place we have Bios. Yeah, you guys expected that, didn't you? He, of course, needs no introduction. During the battle against all the gods of destruction, Bios showed an advantage over his peers, who attacked him together. Despite being completely defensive to the group's attack, Bios dodged with skill and calmness. Automatic reaction technique similar to superior instinct, likely an early stage of the technique. Bills managed to escape from the huge mosquito that had briefly captured him. His speed was fast enough to break free. He slipped out of sight and launched Tayampa, who looks like him, into the air, as a distraction to deceive his enemies. Trolling the gods in a cunning plan, he caught Araki, Kiampa, Sidra, Belmon, and Gin together. He launched an energy ball that was fought off by Sidra's barrier. Goku and Kim believe that if it weren't for Sidra's defense, he would have certainly defeated, if not killed, the five gods. Bills defeats Ramush in combat, leaving himself, Catella, and secretly Benevolent as the last three active gods of destruction. However, the Grand Minister interrupts the fight before Bills and Catella's final blows could connect. Akira Toriyama, author of Dragon Ball, stated that Bills could destroy the Kaioshin's realm, which is 1/10 the size of Universe 7. For all his achievements, he couldn't be in a different position. I'll now explain the list's basis in more detail to clarify any doubts. The list was created using dialogues from the manga mentioning gods, Akira Toriyama's statements, battles involving Hakai Shins, particularly the 12 gods fight in the exhibition tournament and their accomplishments, which were the primary basis for the rankings. Can any character vary here on the list? Yes, but if the list fluctuates, it will be more in the middle. Pius and Kaitella? Yes, they are the most powerful. And what about Goku and Vegeta? If the third is Benevolent, have Goku and Vegeta, who surpass Jiren, currently in the manga, become stronger than Benevolent. Isn't it absurd for a god to be surpassed by a mortal? No, it's not absurd. In fact, the gods were mortals before they became gods, so they were candidates and became gods. Absolutely normal. It would be strange if they had surpassed the angels. Those are indeed more formidable. I put a lot of effort into creating this video for you. It likely contains around 1,000 audio tracks. Great edit. I'll read your comments. I'm dedicating a lot to this channel and would appreciate your support with a like and subscription. If you have a friend who likes Dragon Ball, please share this insightful video with them. I also made a video of the 20 strongest characters in Universe 7. You can watch it by clicking here. It's just as good as this one. The video went viral on the channel. I greatly appreciate your support. That's it, folks. Thank you for your support. I'll leave it here and I'm out.